Did you hear about the alien who had a heart attack? They had to install a pacemaker. Welcome to the stream. Happy Tuesday, my friends. Apologies for such a rocky start. Thank you for waiting. I think I kind of messed up the delivery of that joke, but oh well. I'm always messing them up. Very happy to have you here tonight, my friends. I was running around, scrambling, trying to get my coffee ready. And, well, my coffee is going to be incredibly fresh tonight. I've got a kettle of boiling water, and I'm just starting to pour it over now. So, after about, 5 rounds of pour over, I should have something to drink here pretty soon. Let me welcome everybody individually. Yake is first in chat tonight. Hello, Yake. Welcome to the stream. VR close behind. And Ender Pearl, good to see you again. Thank you for coming along. And last but not least, we've got Conga here at the start. Thank you very much, my friends. I hope your Tuesday has treated you well. I hope you've, those of you who have celebrated Halloween, I hope you have recovered from your celebrations and are feeling fine today. Tonight we've got 2 games on the menu. We've got Operation C for the first couple hours. I haven't played Operation C in a little over a week. Maybe closer to like 10 to 12 days. We are supposed to be working on a challenge run for Operation C. The idea is to beat the game deathless with no items. We've already done the regular deathless run. So we're going to try a few, try a few runs tonight of this, and then we'll switch over to Dark Souls and see if I can make any progress. Tuesday nights have historically been the more progress-filled nights. So the odds are in our favor in regard to having success tonight. It's usually Thursday nights that I tend to struggle more. I don't know why that is. But that's been the typical pattern. We did have some good progress last time we played Dark Souls, though. Mile Hyrule, welcome in. I never stopped celebrating. Wise move. Wise move. VR says, I rage quit my Dark Souls stream, so it's going. Oh no. I feel for you, VR. I don't know that Dark Souls has brought me to the point of rage, but it has certainly brought me to the point of despair. Though that is sort of what's typical for me. We're almost there with the coffee. I want to have it all the way poured here before we start a run. Oh, I guess if we're doing a challenge run, I should get my timer back on the screen. I forgot about that. Maybe take it to about there. Might be enough room. Where is my timer? Thank you for your patience, my friends. Without Jelly here to make my coffee for me, I'm so much less efficient in my day. Loyal to Soil, welcome in, Loyal. Stoked to see you here, Agent Frownie. How's your day been? Pretty good. I slept way too much. You were lurking while I played Resident Evil 2. Thank you for the lurk. If you missed Resident Evil 2 last night, my friends, it was the most cursed attempt at a playthrough I've had in a very long time, if not ever. We were playing the Nintendo 64 version, which has, an automatic save feature, or, like a battery backup save built into the cartridge. Mine had a battery backup save at the start of the night. All my old save files from childhood were even still intact, and I was able to save a couple times over the course of the first few hours, and then mid-playthrough, I guess, the battery in the cartridge died, which made me lose the ability to save, so it became a deathless run. And then my handgun despawned. Your one and only handgun. So I had to play the rest of the game with the knife and very limited shotgun. And needless to say, I didn't make it, so it was a failed, deathless, no handgun run. Not by my choice. It was unbelievable. Moose's Esters, welcome in. I hope you're having a great Tuesday. Or a Wednesday, if it's a Wednesday for you already. VR says, I just hate Dark Souls 1. The rest of the series is much more palatable. Personal opinion. Mile High Rule says Dark Souls 1 is my favorite. Hear that from the entire fandom and cannot fathom why, VR says. 1, 3, Bloodborne, the rest, and Dark Souls 2 is last, Mile High Rule says. Who knows? It was in the spirit of Halloween for sure, Conga says. Battery died. I must have been half asleep. Yeah, well, we didn't actually manage the deathless run. How did you manage to lose your handgun? I don't know. It's some glitch. Apparently, it's a glitch that has a. It's either connected to or has an increased probability when your battery is dead. I don't understand how it all works. I just know that things went very, very badly for me. But we did our best and had as much fun as we could. And I guess that's all that can be done. Still going on from my Wednesday, finishing a deadline. Glad to be able to catch the beginning of the stream. Glad to have you here. Thank you. VR's ranking is Dark Souls 3, 2, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, Dark Souls, then Elden Ring at dead last. Happened to me playing Resident Evil on the Game Boy Color. Battery died during gameplay, and the game crashed and lost all save data. Welcome in, Strength for Life. Great to have you here. Yeah, no crashes. When the battery died for me, there was no indication of it until I tried to save, and it brought up the window where all the save slots are, and they were all blank. And I was like, well, that's weird. That's very bad. And then I backed out and tried to go to the save screen again, because I thought, well, maybe, it was just a one-time read error. Maybe it'll be fine. And when I tried to go back into the save screen every other time after that, it said access error, which I could only assume means the battery died. So I played for as long as I could. I was like, well, when I die, the run ends. I guess the stream ends, and that's what happened. I hung in there for a few hours, not exactly playing well, but scraping by, and well, unfortunately, it came to an end, and rather abruptly and disappointingly too. I just got ambushed by a couple monsters. I tried to run past them. I didn't I got ambushed by one monster, and I was like, well, I'll just run past him and go through a door and heal. But then there was a second monster in the way, and I couldn't get out from between them. They were basically just batting me back and forth until I died. It's pretty sad. It would have been amazing if we'd completed the run, but no such luck. Alright, I'm going to actually start pushing some buttons now. Let's see. Let's go with the pencil. I don't really like the pencil one all that much, but we'll go with it anyway. And, choose some colors. Something not awful to look at. That might be okay. Vance Velez, welcome in. Operation C, I can watch this. GG on Echo Vance. Well done. And much better than me. I'm envious. I'm envious of your smooth ride through Echo. Congrats on the effort. Thank you, Strength for Life. Thanks for the no spoilers there, VR. I mean, it's gonna be probably decades before I ever get around to Elden Ring, but I do appreciate your caution. And Vance, how's your did you get the Deathless run in Operation C as well? Have you been working on that? Next time the title comes up, we'll give it a go. I'll probably reset if I die on stage 1, maybe if I die on stage 2, depending on how I feel about the death. But after that, we'll just run the rest of the way through the game. Oh, it's kind of washed out. Not the best colors. I don't know. I never like the colors I pick, so no point in complaining about them. Wouldn't have been as smooth without the positive vibes. Your stories of Echo gave me strength. I'm happy I could do my part. Yeah, I was stuck on that last level for just over 20 hours. I thought it was more than that, and I've stated that it was more than that in the past, but I looked up the playlist again, and I must have added wrong before. Or rounded with too little precision. But it was just like between 20 and 21 hours, somewhere in that range, that I spent on the last level. Cows, welcome in. Happy Tuesday, my friend. You're just in time for the gameplay. I spent the first 20 minutes of the stream sitting here making coffee. No, I think I died. I did. we can do better than that. So we'll go ahead and hit reset. "21 hours of the machine. Gosh, I would have told them everything I know after a round of torture that long." I mean, it wasn't in one sitting. That's whenever I give the time like that, it gives the impression that I sat here and did that all in one sitting. And if I had done it, if I'd stuck with it, it probably wouldn't have taken as long, I'd like to think. But the thing was, I was only playing it once every couple weeks for a few hours at a time. So there was a lot of sort of relearning every time I picked it up. All right, I'm gonna see if I can pour some of this out. I got one of these hourglass things for making my coffee. I heat the water in an electric kettle and pour it over, and it's all right. I didn't really like it very much at first, and I think Jelly's better at using it than I am. But it can make a pretty decent cup of coffee. I'm not real picky about my coffee anyway, though. Terrible coffee and great coffee are both, they're both drinkable. Got to get that coffee, Frownie. You don't have any around and ready? I'm working on it. Itarama, welcome in, Itty. It isn't October anymore. Contra Frownie, gladly. I actually just forgot to change it. I was so distracted. I just completely forgot. There we are. So thank you for that, Itty, and I hope you're doing well today. I imagine those SpongeBob curses that sound like dolphin squeals. I have to use my imagination. Haven't done the Operation C yet, but it's definitely on the radar. Living vicariously through you right now. I mean, that's only fair. That's only fair. I would watch a 21-hour contest where people play nothing but the machine, and the final fight, the winner being who beats the Vortex Queen the most times. I wouldn't want to watch that. And I certainly wouldn't want to participate in it. I'm all right. Hoping you're well. I'm doing very well. Jelly's away at a library conference this week though, so I have to take care of myself all week. As my making the coffee during the stream rather than before the stream probably illustrates, I am much less efficient without Jelly around. Have you ever played Goonies 2 on the NES, Frownie? I have not, Loyal. That one is it's kind of on my to-do list. I think I've got a copy of it already. I do. Yeah, that one's on my get to it someday list. Oh my, what is happening? This is what I've So I haven't seen this one. You think this is where they got the idea for those Mario and Donkey Kong March of the Minis games? I don't know. What do you think they're up to? There are tiny men coming out of your table, Frownie. Was that their entire plan? Was just to roll the pencil closer to the... What? What is the point? They came out, they marched so purposefully, and all it was just about moving one pencil like 2 inches. I don't understand. All right, here's another crew. He didn't make it. Is their whole point going to be just to put it back? That's it? This is the worst animation. This is the most pointless thing ever. This is where somebody clever says, technically it's not pointless. There are in fact 2 points. Amazing. Well done, cows. Incorrect, Frownie. There are, in fact, 2 pencil points involved. Not pointless at all. What timing? And Conga jumps in with, it's erase to see who finishes first. All right, let's play the game. That's good. Let's all share in the pain. No, the victory goes to the victory definitely goes to cows on that one. How is it that Agent Frownie is playing, but cows won the game? Purposeful marching with disappointing results sounds like my time in the military, Eddie says. definitely appreciate your service nonetheless, my friend. These boats are the trickiest part of stage 1. If you take them out when they're riding in, they're no problem. But if you let them park and start firing at you, they're very difficult to take out at that point. I thought I was dead. I looked away for 1 second. And that was all it took. I didn't think that guys ran in during that part of the boss fight. Clearly I was mistaken. I forgot to put the pencils back up. Oh well. I'm not sure what my best attempt at this has been so far. I feel like I've cleared each stage in isolation without a death, though. I'm fairly confident. I'm fairly confident that I can complete any individual stage deathless. It's just a matter of doing them all at the same time that's tricky for me. With stage 1 being especially tricky at the moment. That guy spawned again. I guess he always does. I don't feel like I ever really noticed him before, though. Nice. I would say that if we don't get a 1 cycle, if we don't take that boss out in 1 cycle, though, that's worth a reset too, right there. brought the volume up just a little bit between the levels there. No. Well, you know what? We're just gonna play this out. Let's just see the game, and then we'll lean heavy on the reset button again after we've completed a run. I'm tired of looking at stage 1. It's hard to say that a warm-up run is ever a bad idea anyway. Even if I didn't really want to do one. Where's the weak spot? There we go. Stage 4 is the biggest jerk. Stage 5, the actual hardest level in the game. Stage 2, the stealth assassin. Stage 1, the YOLO stage. Look at that, I opened up a thing, too, so that would have been a death right there as well. Stage 3, hardest jump in the game. Stage 3 and 5 are the hardest stages for me by far. Stage 1, 2, and 4 don't really scare me. Stage 3, I'm afraid of, there's a jump at the top of the waterfall, which I think is probably what you're referring to as the hardest jump. There's a jump at the top of the waterfall that I miss with shocking regularity. And jumping over the boss's shoulder pads is also really difficult. So that makes stage 3 bad. Stage 5, I'm mostly worried about the elevator. That jump, yeah. The top of the waterfall knows what's up. Yeah, the top of the waterfall is, like, specifically hired to ruin deathless runs. Alright, let's kill the timer since the run is actually dead. We're at, what, 1.5 deaths? Losing a life is a death, spawning a power-up is a half a death. 2.5 deaths. I'm having a hard time getting up this cliff. This color scheme washes out real bad. I'm just now seeing in the capture. It doesn't look great on the CRT, but it looks terrible in the capture. Look at all the details. Look at all the detail you guys are missing out on. Oh, what is that? 3.5 deaths? This is horrible. Warm-up run. Don't have negative thoughts. Whoa. Yeah, this jump right here is trash. But also, the shoulder pads on this guy, they are really hard to deal with. Well, we might have to use a continue. No items changes that boss fight quite a bit. Oh, I got a life and then I immediately lost it. I've already forgotten. We did the I got the regular Deathless run on October 14th, according to this post-it note. So it's been 2 weeks. I've forgotten everything about the regular playthrough. Not even that I've been doing this that much. I think this is only the third night that I've practiced the no items variant. It looks like my first time ever trying it. But we'll do better on the next run. These snakes used to be a real problem for me. Hopefully I'm not jinxing myself right now, but... The thing about the snakes is, if you walk up to the right height, the bottom one just stops coming out altogether. So you don't really have to... Like, I thought you had to thread the needle between them. But, nope. I was going through with, like, trying to time it for the longest time, but no, if you go high enough, it just stops. No timing required. I think I discovered that the very last time I played. The most recent session. That laser can come in real tight. I don't know if that laser... That laser might even be able to occasionally get you when you're standing down there in that corner like that. It definitely comes in real tight. I don't know if it's perfectly... I don't know if it's actually perfectly safe there or not. I think if you get really unfortunate RNG, it might actually even be able to hit you. Knowing my luck, the laser will do exactly that. Yeah, I don't think it... I don't know. I don't think it comes out in exactly the same way every time. I could be wrong. There could be no RNG involved even, but it just... Sometimes it feels like it's really tight. No! Ah! I was a fraction of a second too slow. No, I just wanted to adjust a little bit. Cost me everything. And I had to redo the level. That's disgusting. That elevator, that's the worst. have made it up the elevator without dying, so I do know it is possible, but it's probably the trickiest part of the game for me. It's like your best move is the Frownie drop, so Konami made a game where you go up and right the whole time. My greatest weaknesses. Bogus. I don't know, just don't know what to do about that. They're gonna run into me. The music when this guy is showing up reminds me of Proto Man. This guy is so easy. He was such a hard part of the game for me. It took a long time for me to learn his pattern for whatever reason, but he's so easy now. If I had a Deathless run and it was those bubbles before the final boss got me, the salt would be through the roof. How would you like it if one of these lasers got you? That's probably my greatest fear. If one of the lasers got me, I would shake its hand and say GG's. Alright, well that was the ugliest possible warm-up we could have had, I think. I ended up using 2 continues. Disgusting. Let's work on our aesthetics and then we'll reset. Oh, except I forgot it, Ooh. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that to us, Frownie. We're still playing this at Christmas time. Maybe we'll use that red and green color scheme. What that? This might be alright. We'll go with this one. Except I have to reset. I don't know why the reset remembers all of your color, all of your choices except the border. It remembers the color scheme. It remembers the buttons. That helicopter's flying you back to stage 1, so you have time to think about what you've done. Do you know, does this game get harder with extra loops? Because the original Contra, the difficulty increases every time you loop. But Super C, it does not. At least that's from my first-hand experience. That seems to be the case. I don't know about this one, though. I did 8 loops of the original Contra on 1 credit, and I was going to do the same project for Super C, but Super C apparently doesn't get more difficult because on like loop 4 or 5, I had like 60-something lives. So clearly the game was not becoming more difficult if I was dying so few times that I'd amassed all those lives. My guess would be that this game does not become more difficult on subsequent loops, since this game is more similar to Super C than it is to Contra. Not sure how they could make this particular game harder. You can only speed it up so much before it becomes unplayable. Well, the only difference on the extra loops in the original Contra, like, I don't really notice a big speed difference. Really, the only thing that I notice that's different each time is the mini boss and the final boss on the last stage seem to have a lot more health. That's the only change that I really notice. So, I mean, maybe it speeds up, but it's hard to tell. But it's kind of like Ghosts and Goblins. Like, Ghosts and Goblins speeds up on the second loop, but I really can't tell the difference between loop 1 and 2. If you just dropped me into a random point in the game and didn't tell me if it was loop 1 or loop 2, I wouldn't be able to tell you. Because it just feels the same. But on loop 3 in Ghosts and Goblins definitely speeds up. It's barely playable on loop 3. I made it to the final stage on loop 3 of Ghosts and Goblins, but I couldn't beat the final stage. It was too fast. I'm gonna have to try it again someday. In Castlevania The Adventure, I don't think the game runs faster, but all the enemies do more damage on subsequent loops. Bogus. That guy, he was dead and it killed me. Weirdly enough, it forgot my buttons. I was just saying that it doesn't forget your button preferences, but it did. That's really odd. Alright, I don't remember what... I think this... Oh, but for Castlevania The Adventure, despite all my speedrunning of that game, I have never played the additional loops. All the enemies do more damage until loop 5, which is a one-hit kill. And then I guess, I mean, I don't know if the enemies still do more damage on the extra loops, but it doesn't matter at that point, because once you get to a one-hit kill, even if the enemies are doing more damage, right, you can't tell. So basically it maxes out on loop 5. So some night I'm gonna have to do a 5-loop run of Castlevania The Adventure. That's gonna be a rough night. Because I'm definitely not anywhere near as good at that game as I used to be. Every time I've picked it up over the past couple months, I've been so rusty. I'm not 100% sure whether a deathless 5-loop playthrough of that game is possible. I'm not... I don't remember if there's anywhere where damage is mandatory. But if there is, then a death is mandatory by loop 5. I don't think damage is ever mandatory, but there are some places where it is RNG dependent whether or not you're gonna take damage. Like the bats on stage 2. There's some patterns that are where damage is completely unavoidable. So a 5-loop deathless run would be RNG dependent. I mean, if you do a deathless 5-loop run of Castlevania the Adventure, at least you're playing a fun game. Vance asks, what do you think is more possible? Deathless 5-loop Castlevania the Adventure or Deathless Echo the Dolphin? At least Castlevania the Adventure is a fun game. Deathless Echo the Dolphin is our one sub goal for the channel. You know, like I haven't ever done sub goals, but we have one ongoing, a permanent sub goal. When we hit 1 million subs, I will start training Deathless Echo the Dolphin. You may also be interested in my intention to retire from streaming at 999,999 subs. That's not a goal, just something that I'm planning. Spread the word, folks. This needs to happen. Curses Frownie is always one step ahead. You think even 4 loops would be worse than Echo the Dolphin? I don't know. I just wouldn't want to play that much Echo. I think you're right. No, I think you're right. I think Deathless Echo would be much harder. There's so much in... Because Echo is, Echo is so poorly designed. It's so sloppy. That there's so many places where you just have to get lucky. Castlevania the Adventure, like, it's, you know, it's good because it's like, it's a really tightly designed game. Like, everything is placed with intention, and there are, you know, there are a couple places where there are enemies with random behaviors, but they're the exception to the rule. Even those things are used sort of sparingly and purposefully. Echo is a miasma of purposeless inconsistency. I don't feel like I usually have so much trouble with this guy, and yet he's awful tonight. Why is this so hard? Goodness. Oh, I'm really glad I didn't open that power up. Worst jump in the game. Ah. Hey, Greg, welcome in. Greg's Retro Channel. I want to start a channel of nothing but that game and call it the Echo Chamber. Disgusting. No! Ah, rip the run. Get 2 away from 1,000,000 subs, then have 2 people sub at exactly the same nanosecond. Loophole. Yeah, the level 2 has some RNG that will definitely stop the run cold. There's RNG on level 4 as well. With the sock monsters, they're fireballs, but like that, although it's random, you can react to it. If you approach carefully enough, you do have time to react. The bats, however, are another story. Particularly the 3 bats at the beginning of the stage, and also I think there's another bat on one of the ropes part of the way through the stage that if it flies in the right pattern, there's really just nothing that you're able to do. I don't know what my PB for this challenge is. I'm trying to recall whether we've had a 1 death run before. I just can't remember. The snakes have lost all their challenge. They were so rough before. What about a channel of nothing but Operation C and other Contra games played in a perceptive way? We can call it contraceptive. Well, that is a thing. I don't know what I did wrong. I still don't know what I'm doing wrong. I hate this elevator. Whoever designed that elevator. I hope every time they order a pizza, the person that bakes it forgets to put one of those little plastic tables in the center, and the toppings get stuck to the top of the lid. Boat ladder, welcome in. Look, if you just run, it's almost free. I had to pause. You only have to pause for the last one. I never knew that. All right, well, that was significantly better than our first run. I think I died 3 times. Once on stage 3, the boss, and twice on the elevator. We'll do one more run, and then we'll switch over to Dark Souls for the rest of the night. Guess we'll go with the kitty cats again. I think I used this color scheme before. No, I think it was this one. Yeah, let's do this one. It goes with the kitty cats. I missed my timer. The regular deathless run, I had the kitty cat border on when I achieved that run. So let's see if it brings me good luck again. I also had a bogus color scheme. It wasn't quite this one, but it was just as bad. So it's pretty much an unwatchable video. No! Ah! So frustrating. I knew that guy was coming. Welcome in, Tusk. Great to have you here. Show me still playing Alien 3 on Twitch. Oh my goodness. I was gonna say you just couldn't let it win. Well, we will go back to Alien 3. I just don't want to do it 2 nights in a row. I won't let it rest as long as I did Alien 3 on the Genesis. Alien 3 on the Genesis, I think I played in January for the first time, and then I didn't finish it until, like, last month. The month before. You know, sometimes I let a game sit for a while. But Alien 3, the Game Boy Alien 3, I don't think I'm going to let it sit for very long, because I'm worried I'll forget too much. There are a handful of games that we've started that we never, that we still haven't finished, but they're not necessarily abandoned so much as forgotten about. I need to finish Earthworm Jim on the Game Boy and Double Dragon on the Game Boy. There's a lot of Game Boy games I need to finish. Dragon Warrior Monsters, we kind of stopped playing. That one, I don't know. That one, I don't know if I'll ever pick it up again. I didn't really hate the game. It's just, it's kind of slow. I still need to finish Shaq Fu. I need to replay Superman 64. No! Challenge failed. We need to finish Hercules. I love Dragon Warrior Monsters and the second one. Yeah, I was having an okay time with it. It's just, I don't know if it's the best game for me to stream. An action-packed and riveting game like Alien 3 needs a rest to allow the nerves to reset. Maybe I shouldn't do another run of this tonight. I'm just, doing the worst I possibly could. I'm getting tired of having to select this border every time I, reset. I'm trapped on stage 1. Let's grab a different set of colors. Well, hello, Pure Retro CO. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Welcome to Operation C. Welcome to your friends. Hope you're having a great night. Normal name. Good to have you here. And Doomed Tunes. Thank you for coming along. So what were you up to? What were you playing on your channel tonight? How'd your stream go? It says retro category, but that's a pretty big world, as we know. Could be anything going on over there. I'm just gonna click through this link here, and you can join me, my friends. Checking out Pure Retro's channel. That is quite the wall of games you have there. Nice. I like it. Welcome to the Bush Brigade. True retro gaming on original hardware. Love it. With original software on a Sony PVM 20M2U monitor. True original games, no emulation, no ROMs, just pure retro from Colorado. I was wondering if that CO was for Colorado. With some ice cold Bush lights. Retro variety with some modern, retro inspired games thrown in. I love it. That's my kind of stuff right there. Yeah, I'm really big into original hardware. As often as I can. I'm not above playing a port or a re-release or a virtual console or a digital copy of a game if it's prohibitively expensive. But I haven't really had much luck with emulation myself. Nothing against it, just I've never found a setup for it that I feel comfortable with. I like the old machines. I've got I don't even know what brand my TV is. Hitachi. I've got a giant Hitachi CRT monitor that we're playing on right now. How's the Contra runs going? So we're going for no items, deathless. It's not going great tonight. Warm up run was pretty terrible. Second run was a 1cc that I think I died 3 times during, and I'm having trouble getting a third run off the ground. I've beaten this game deathless, and so the next step is deathless, no items. That's what we're working on at the moment. So it's going kind of rough, but we're trying our best to have a fun time. And after another run, we're gonna move over. We're gonna do go a little bit more modern, and we're gonna play on the Switch. We're gonna play Dark Souls for the second part of the stream. Most of the streams I do, most times we do a sort of double feature. We play one game for 2 to 3 hours, and then another game for like 4 to 6. That's how we usually do things. Pure Retro says we're a co-op stream racing some NES games: Castlevania, Zelda 2, Double Dragon 2. Right on. The original Castlevania, I love. It's probably my favorite Castlevania game. I haven't played them all, but I've played a lot. Big fan of the series, but the first one's probably my favorite. I've done challenge runs of that too. We did that deathless, and now I'm trying to learn whip only. I can do most of the game pretty reliably, but I cannot reliably beat death whip only. If I did like my very best performance, I can beat the entire game whip only, but death takes like 30 tries. It's ugly. Zelda 2 is a lot of fun, but I've only beaten it once. It's scary hard at the end. Stoked to see new retro peeps here, Loyal says. Right on. CRT is the way to go. Yeah. It's just I just I'm not comfortable with the different levels of input lag when I try and play on a flat screen. Um, the input delay is like twice as long or something. I don't know. It just feels off. I could never adjust to it. Christian Cool, welcome in, hanging out while doing my thing. Thank you for the lurk. You're in for a good time, Loyal says. Frownie is really enjoyable to watch and hang out with. Thank you for the for the kind words there, Loyal. But yeah, let me just set my let me just pick a color selection here real quick. Something not too harsh. We were using this earlier. We'll use it again. And maybe we'll get another run going here in just a moment. I got a portable CRT, Conga says, at an auction a few days ago. I'm going to hook up my old NES up to it. Right on. If it's been a while since you've played an NES on a CRT, you might be surprised at how different it feels. That's what I always find. Thank you for the follows, by the way. Normal name, I owe you a thank you. Very much appreciate you coming on board with us, and Pure Retro as well. Thank you for that. I'm definitely gonna try and check out your stream if we don't overlap too much. If I'm free and I see your live, I'll try and drop in. Derek, welcome in. Thank you for the hydrate. I've tried a couple different CRTs. I've got a 12-inch one. I don't know what brands they are. I've got a 12-inch one that I used when we started the stream. I have a Commodore 64 monitor. That's my childhood television. Is the Commodore 64 monitor. I used to hook all my consoles up to that when I was a kid. I still have it, but I don't use it on the stream because it doesn't have the input and output ports that I need on it. It's not really convenient to integrate into my setup, and I use this big CRT now. And the only reason that I like using this one, I actually don't like how big it is, but it's got thousands of input and output ports on it, so it's real easy to run the games through it and capture them. Sorry, I'm moving stuff around on my desk here. Before we get rolling again, I've made a mess. It's been okay. You have been oh, you're talking to Loyal, but I am glad to hear you're doing okay, Derek. We're doing fine. We just received a raid from some fellow retro enthusiasts. Sold a small stack of Switch games to GameStop. Guess how much I got in credit? I'm sure it was not a whole lot. I've never been one for trading in my games. All right, I'm gonna see if I can play and chat at the same time. While we're getting the run started here, I'll say one more time. Again, welcome in, Raiders, and thank you for stopping by. It is great to have you here. You've probably already caught on to sort of the gist of the stream, but I'll just spell things out a little bit more clearly. I stream several nights a week, starting up at about 10:30 p.m. Central Time, and we generally go for about 6 to 7 hours. Usually 2 nights, usually 2 games per night. I'm primarily a retro variety streamer. I like to work on original hardware and play pretty much anything from the Commodore 64 to the PlayStation 2, with NES to N64 being the real sweet spot in there. Will do a modern game from time to time, usually a Nintendo title or a retro throwback, but we're working on Dark Souls right now as my more modern game. When I'm on a first playthrough of a game, which is pretty often, I do things in a very strictly blind manner. No research, no help, no explanations. I just like to struggle through with the barely adequate power of my own brain. I'm amazed that I survived that boat attack. Sometimes I do challenge runs, typically of these kind of brutally hard arcade-style platformers. Contra, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Castlevania. We've done deathless runs and other various challenges through games like that before. And the third thing that I like to do pretty often is to play marathons of broken trash games. E.T., Scooby-Doo, Powerpuff Girls. We've done little mini marathons of basically every title I could get my hands on from those franchises, and when we play them, we play them all the way. We go to credits, at least. Oftentimes we play them 100%, which is not really great for my sanity, but I can't help the monster that I am. And we just try to keep things as laid back as possible. It's a pretty chill, kind of family-friendly sort of atmosphere we have going on. The games are not always family-friendly, but we try to keep things light so far as the portions of the stream we have direct control over. And that's pretty much how things go. Victory. About $200 worth of trade-in, Derek says. Not bad. Was hoping a value between $5 and $400. Jank for life. Playing jank games is a great way to avoid spoilers. Not a lot of people who can give you inside info on Scooby-Doo. Yeah, I tend to be. I have pretty much the strictest. Maybe the strictest no backseating, no spoilers policy that I'm aware of, which on some occasions means I'll play through almost an entire game completely unaware of some basic mechanics. There was a Scooby-Doo game that we played, and I was about 9 hours in before I realized there was a run button. About 9 hours of an 11-hour playthrough, and that was extra painful because I had spent those 9 hours complaining endlessly about how slow the walking speed was. We did a Castlevania 64. I played through it for the first time as the secondary character. who has a magic attack that shoots fireballs, and I was about 2/3 of the way through the game before I realized that that attack was chargeable, kind of like Mega Man's Buster. And I really could have saved myself a lot of difficulty if I had known about that, but you know, these are the exciting moments of discovery that we live for. Derek says I started watching Frownie when he did E.T. Atari. Yeah, those were some rough times. Please say that you said Zoinks Shaggy style when you found out about the run button. I'm afraid I'm going to let you down there. I think I just cried a million tears. No. I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a third run of this tonight, my friends. I thought we'd finally turn things around. Because we're going for a challenge, in order to not waste too much time on dead runs, I've generally been resetting if we fail on stage 2 or earlier. So I've been stuck here for a little while tonight. I can speak for the stream, Loyal says. It's a great fun spot, always positive. One of my favorites. Thank you, Loyal. Let me just rewind a little bit. I don't like selling games, honestly, but my Switch pile was getting way out of hand, Derek says. I mean, everyone has a different approach. Hope they had Castlevania 64 to Switch Online. Would be nice. You know, I always want more people to play Castlevania 64. So, like I said, we're going for this. We're going for this Deathless, and it's been rough tonight. I know I've cleared each level in isolation. Most of them several times. Without dying, it's just a matter of doing it all at once. That is continuing to evade me. And there's only two, there's really only two areas of the game that consistently give me trouble. The very final part of stage 3 has two difficult things about it, and the middle of stage 5 has an elevator that's really difficult. Those are the only two parts where I really expect to die. Everything else, it's always frustrating when I have a death anywhere else, because everything else I expect to be able to make it through. I think it'd be wonderful if Nintendo would port their CDI licensed games to the Switch. I'm sure ownership of those titles has reverted back to Nintendo, or they purchased them at some point. I don't feel like Nintendo has a very good sense of humor about their failures, though. Though they did include the Virtual Boy in Luigi's Mansion 3, so they deserve credit for that. This is the run, Frownie. You can do it. Thank you for the vote of confidence, Tusk. I hope I don't fail you. Alright, this is the last run of this is the last Operation C run of the night, regardless of what happens, though. We made it out of stage 2. So now even if the run dies, we're gonna finish it for the practice and call it a night on this game. The endless brutality of Dark Souls awaits. If you haven't been here for any of the Dark Souls playthrough, it is a first playthrough. It is my first time playing any Souls game or anything like it. As someone who doesn't play a lot of modern games, and as someone who doesn't play a lot of RPGs, I am disadvantaged in some very potentially amusing ways, and that I don't know what I'm doing, and I absolutely refuse to do any research about the game or to receive any help or explanations about any of its mechanics or lore or anything like that. So I'm undoubtedly doing things wrong that I don't even know about, but you know, I take pride in doing things my own way, so it's made for a very interesting playthrough. There are several Souls game experts who have been watching the playthrough with delight. The boulders are not an obstacle that I expect to kill me, so losing my run to one of them is very sad. But it is what it is at this point. Oh, cool. Cool, they're gonna kill me with a second one, just for, just to add insult to injury. I should stop this run. I don't even know what that was. This is the worst. This is the worst I've ever played. When you said this was the run, Tusk, you weren't cheering for me, were you? You were cheering for the game. You somehow knew how much it was about to humiliate me. That was a boulder of spite. And then every turret. Wow, that was just horrible. When stuff like that happens, I just feel like I've never even played the game before. But we'll press onward. Practice is important. I'm almost positive it's the real reason Nintendo doesn't like emulation. The CDI games. I just think it could be funny, right? Especially if they advertised it, like, because like everyone keeps, you know, everyone keeps thinking that they're gonna release like the Wind Waker and or Twilight Princess on the Switch, and so it would be really amusing if they put together a commercial that like was like a bait and switch, where it looked like they were about to release those two games, and instead they give us a CDI greatest hits collection. I would find it very amusing. It's probably an incredibly bad, you know, like from a business perspective, it'd be an incredibly bad decision, right? Because like there's so many people that they've only ever played Breath of the Wild, has been their only exposure to Zelda. They're newcomers to Nintendo consoles and franchises, and you wouldn't want to scare those people away from the IP by releasing a terrible game as a joke, but I don't know. What's the fun of having a multi-billion-dollar company if you don't make ridiculous decisions every now and then and just have some fun, right? I can't even say I'm still practicing this at this point. I'm pretty checked out. I'm sorry to say. As much as I like this game and I want to complete this challenge, I've had some pretty poor luck with it tonight, and my focus and motivation have definitely suffered. I'd probably buy a Switch, to be honest, for the CDI collection. My friend and I would sit there and play the incredibly bad games for hours. I mean, I'm full of great decisions. I think the sequel to the sequel to the Switch should be a VR exclusive console that is that they call the Virtual Boy 2. There have been rumors about Nintendo like experimenting with VR hardware, and I think they should just go all in on that. They've been in sort of a pattern, right? Nintendo's been in sort of a pattern lately where every other console's a failure anyway, so... So knowing that, like, their next console is probably going to be a flop, they might as well just do something crazy and fun with it. Oh, I know I've made it. I know I've made it up this elevator without dying before, but I don't know how to do it reliably. I have a feeling if someone said Virtual Boy 2 in a Nintendo meeting, that person would be promptly thrown out the window. It's probably not it's probably not too far from the truth. It looked like the ending of RoboCop. How to play the Virtual Boy, step 1, throw it away. I spent a lot of time playing the Virtual Boy when I was young. Particularly, we had Mario Tennis, we had Mario Clash, and we had Galactic Pinball. I played a lot of those 3 games. We also had Red Alert, but that game was terrible. And now I also have Wario Land and Tellero Boxer, but I've never played either of those 2 games. They've just been sitting there collecting dust for now. Someday I'll have the motivation to hook up the Virtual Boy and try them out, but I should have taken the Virtual Boy out and put it up there on my Halloween display. All right, that would be very scary. Have it stand up there right next to the Ouija board. Is that why you love suffering while playing games so much as a grown Frownie? Because I played the Virtual Boy so much and it warped me. I don't know where my fascination with trash games comes from. Like, I credit my no spoilers attitude to Breath of the Wild, and I credit my no walkthroughs attitude to Kirby's Dream Land 2. I don't know where my no quality attitude comes from. As crazy as it sounds, Waterworld on the Virtual Boy is actually really fun. I haven't ever tried that one out. Virtual Boy wasn't horrible, just rough on the eyes. The Virtual Boy wasn't good. I don't know if I can agree with you that the Virtual Boy is not horrible. It has some okay games, but the technology was a terrible idea. After the oversaturation from the red and black, uh, seeing blue light hurt after playing it. Alright, my friends, I'm sorry Operation C has gone roughly tonight. Hopefully we'll get some better runs the next time we fire it up. Not sure when that will be. We might, I don't know. Probably next week. We probably won't play Operation C again until next week. It's bad to let a challenge rest for that long. I would play it on Friday, but I think there might not be a stream on Friday, so we'll just have to see. We'll have to see where it fits onto the schedule for next week. But it's alright. We don't have to finish this challenge in that big of a hurry. Virtual Boy should have been in black and white. I don't know. It should have been in color. I don't think red and black's the worst thing they could have done. I don't necessarily, like, I think black and white probably would have been harder on the eyes. It simply should have been in color. The way the Virtual Boy draws lines, though, I don't know if you can do. I don't know if that technology can be colorized. Because it doesn't draw lines like the way that a television does, or the way an LCD screen does. It has this weird thing where it moves a mirror back and forth to give the illusion of horizontal lines. So I don't remember exactly. It's got like a single row of vertical lights, I think, is the way it works, and they turn off and on as a mirror turns to fill in the illusion of horizontal lines. So I don't know if that can be colorized. I guess if you had 3 rows of if you had 3 vertical rows, each in a different color, but I don't know. I know the technology that makes it work is very weird. But just it being in black and white was it being in anything other than full color, I think immediately dooms it. Alright, so I'm going to take a short BRB, my friends, and we will move over onto the Switch. We'll change out our capture device. Actually, let's go ahead and change out the capture device now, and then we'll take a BRB. I have this clunky process at the end of a video instead of the beginning of one. So watch out. Things might get a little weird and loud for a moment. Okay, I think the mic is still working. That's good. There's a system update. Okay, we think we've got video and audio now. I know you guys can't see anything yet, but there's audio. And video. Perfect. That process gets smoother and smoother every time we do it. The souls are especially dark tonight. You can collect platinum points. Alright, let's move the mic. And I get my big head a little bit out of the way. Alright, and so Dark Souls is what's coming up next. Go ahead and do... Ooh, that's very loud. Do the press any button stuff. And we'll be back in just a moment. Like I said, I need a short BRB, my friends. But after a few minutes, I will see you again, and we will continue this very strange, very difficult journey through Dark Souls.